In 2024, Europe is back in space and standing on its own 2 feet. At the opening of the 16th European Space Conference in Brussels on Tuesday, political and industrial leaders confirmed that the continent will once again be able to rely on its own launchers. The launch window is set between the 15th of June and the 31st of July. Since the end of Ariane 5 in July last year, Europe has been without its own large launcher, a situation that threatens the continent's competitiveness and security.
We have to be honest. We are facing an unprecedented crisis here. Europe has lost its independent access to space, putting at risk the sovereign deployment of the Union's flagships, Galileo, Copernicus, and soon IRIS². So regaining our sovereignty in terms of access to space is paramount if the Union is to remain a credible space actor.
The new Ariane 6 rocket was scheduled for launch in 2020, but the original schedule was too ambitious. There were other difficulties too, supply chains disrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic, as well as delays in the development of new technologies.
Booster separation.
We're waiting for...
What's more, for the past 2 years, Europe has no longer been able to rely on Soyuz, Russia's spacecraft. For industry players, lessons need to be learned.
Number one, we have to make sure that we have an overlapping launcher from the previous generation and the new generation. So what we have learned from the current situation is that Ariane 5, which was of course brought out of service in July last year, should overlap at least 3-4 years with the new launcher, just to make sure, or just in case. Number two, the next heavy launcher that we are now developing through a challenge process will for sure be reusable.
Ariane 6, the new launcher, is an important step towards reinforcing Europe's autonomy in terms of space policy. For the time being, Europe must also rely on a number of partners, including India and the American company SpaceX.